this? A North American YouTuber consider saying that he reckons he knows how to make an Australian muscle car? I'll have you know, our muscle cars was so powerful, it created a thing called the supercar scare. It was so crazy, the cars were reaching 160 miles an hour. So today I thought I would introduce you by trying to recreate the car that started the supercar scare. And that would be the Ford Falcon XY GT, but specifically the GTHO Phase 3. This thing had 400 horsepower, or near as so close as it makes no difference. So luckily we have the 351 Windsor details right here. So this car originally started in 1968, so let's get that set to an approximately 1970s type car. It was a big, boxy family car, so we're gonna have to try to find a body that slightly resembles this. We might go with something kind of like that body. The funny thing is after this car came the next model of car, which was this one. And I actually owned a 4-door version of this that looked a lot like this one. Oh, that was a car. I mean, not actually, it wasn't much of a car, it was mostly rust, that's why I got rid of it. But this one started in the 70s, and if we scroll down to 1965, that exact car right here, and we will be using that one day, probably tomorrow. We could, however, go for this one, which might also be just a smidgen bit closer, if a little bit less boxy. We are gonna go with steel ladder, and then steel again. Now, I made the mistake of, you may have seen on my official Where's the Jump Button server on BeamNG, that I created a car very similar to this, except I didn't know back then that it was meant to be a ladder chassis, and probably also on radials. This one is going to be on radials, however, and we're gonna have a front longitudinal, probably some sort of double wishbone, and then a solid axle leaf, that much I know, on the rear. We're gonna go with a new project. This will be the Windsor 351, which is an engine that we kept for a very long time. It is a 90-degree V8 cast iron push rod cast iron. Now, this is where the bore and stroke come into play, and that gives us a 5.8 liter. Actually, you know what? Maybe the Windsor didn't stick around for that long. I remember in the 90s they had a 5-liter V8, which generated considerably less power. Cast iron, cast iron, cast iron. This thing is probably going to want to pull its pistons right out of it, but it's fine. Do we have compression ratio? 11 to 1. That's a high compression ratio for back in the day. This is not the correct numbers, unfortunately. Oh, okay. So maybe it is the right version. They said it had 300 horsepower, but in reality, they got up to basically 400 horsepower. I'm pretty sure there was a 400 horsepower version. Maybe that was tuned a little bit extra for the track, but yeah, that's not quite accurate, but we'll give it a try anyway. Also, I'd like to point out that it was 25 years until an Australian company created a vehicle just as powerful. Unfortunately, it seems there's not much information on here, but we do know that a rev limited at 6150, so we have to aim for maybe somewhere between 6150 and 5400. We're probably going to aim for about a 5900 peak horsepower, because they just straight up lied about how much horsepower it made because of said supercar scare. So we're probably going to raise this up just a little bit and leave it as it is for now. No, nothing there. Injection, wait, no, not injection, sorry, carburetor. Then it has a really big 4-barrel carburetor made by Holley of some sort, but we're just going to go a single big one, right? Oh, it comes with headers. Nice. Anyway, we're gonna go with some sort of maybe performance. We might hit a race one, but probably not. We'll just sit with that with the performance right now. And what sort of fuel does it run on? Fortunately, there's nothing here about what it runs on. Oh dear. Wow. Apparently in 1970, around that sort of area, they were looking at doing a fuel-injected version. Interesting. That's whet my appetite. Apparently it created 600 horsepower. Oh my god. And they call it a lightweight chassis, what it went into. I very much doubt it. Let's move on. We're gonna stick it currently with just a regular leaded fuel. A little bit richer because it is from the 1970s and fuel was a dime a dozen. Red line will go up to, what was it, 6150, so we'll go to 6200. And because it was made by Holley, we can increase this quality just a bit, because I'd assume using a name brand meant that it was actually a quality setup. And then Probably some sort of long Jubilee. We might even go race, but that's what we'll use for now. Dual, and it sounded like there was a straight through or nothing. We might go one straight through though. Okay, well, it doesn't seem that I can do much to help here, so we're gonna richen this up a little bit, and then we're gonna go super leaded. Oh, goodness. The engine is running rich. How do they get 11.1 race? Nope, that didn't help. Okay, we've stopped it from knocking, but now we have the problem of wanting to get on an extra 63 kilowatts. Okay, I suppose that's the thing we could do. We are unfortunately running rich, and it's still knocking. How do they get this compression ratio? My God. You know what? This seems like a particularly big carburetor. Maybe we'll go with, instead of making a super rich, a twin carburetor, because I doubt that they're quite doing the right sort of thing here. We're getting close. We are lacking in Newton meters by quite a lot as well. We had to go to forged here to stop our connecting rods becoming not connecting rods. Moving on. There we go. 283.3. Nice. Which is exactly what we want. Unfortunately, to get this, I've had to sacrifice a lot of torque to our camshaft. We are, however, going to go with a little bit more power so then we can get that torque number that we need, considering the torque is more important. So we have 315 Newton meters here, and here we are creating 515 there, and then 514 here, which is 380 foot-pounds of torque. Quite easy to do, but 3,400 RPM. Oh no, we've done a bad. All right, we've given ourselves more torque, less power, we're closer to the power number. We brought it down a little bit, but still not enough. But there's not a whole lot more we can do. We're going to have to call it there. Next is to dress it up. So it's got a blue engine and blue valve cover, blue everything. We can change the block color? Yes, we can. Oh, that's awesome. I think that's fairly close. And yeah, everything else is still exactly the same. And our intake manifold also looks blue, which is weird. I mean, they had one chance to make this call and they blew it. Unfortunately, painting the manifold does not work as of yet, so we are kind of shit out of luck with that one. Let's give our GTHO Phase 3 a bit of a listen, shall we? Oh, that's a good one. Okay, which body are we going to choose? We're going to choose the wagon, which is very common, or just this plain straight up sedan? We're not going to bother with the Ute. We're going to go straight with sedan. And the GTHO Phase 3 came in a lot of different colors, though this orangey burnt red is kind of the most common. I think that's fairly close to this kind of color. Then there's also lots of black trim and some side accents. Our drivetrain is going to be a rear-wheel drive. It's going to be a manual, but I wonder how many speeds this thing has. It comes with a 4-speed, all synchronized. Oh, that's good. At least it's not a dog box. That would be a nightmare. It also comes with ratios for us fantastically. Why does it come with 2 manual gear ratio versions? I suppose we could just select the one that we want. So our final drive is going to be 3.25. So 3.29 will, I suppose, have to do. Then our 4-speed all synchronized manual gearbox can be a 2.78 or a 2.3. We're going to set it to 2.78 first. You know, this is making it very long. It makes me feel a bit uncomfortable. The other one goes to 3.23. I get the feeling this is going to become incredibly unruly with what we're about to put in there. Now, it's got no lockers or anything like that. Cross-ply. This is what we are doing. And we are going to go with a sports compound. Wait, it does come with an LSD. Interesting. Oh. We don't have that option. Okay, when does this become an option? In 1981, it becomes an option. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, geared LSD. Traction lock LSD. Oh, wait, no. Comes with an automatic locker. Okay, hold on, Leah. Let's undo that then. Automatic locker. There we go. Pretty sure that's what that means, but I don't know. Wheels and tires, please. Wheels. 6-inch by 14. 5. Okay. Well. Oh, wait, no. It comes with a 15-inch alloy option. Cool. Tires. Here we go. Okay, that's what we want. The rears were drums. Bugger. Only the fronts came with the discs. Okay, here we go. Wait, what? You got 15-inch alloys, that come with 14-inch wheels? What the hell? This doesn't make sense. Oh, well, 185s. Oh, I have to make them smaller. Oh, no. I don't know how big the tires themselves are, though. 652. Okay. We'll go with a slightly less one, and this will be the alloy version. Offset? Sure, we'll have a little bit of offset. Why not? Try to have a little bit of control. This car was really dominating when it came out. It was so incredibly dominating. It was just out of this world. So we're going to go solid disc on the front. I don't know how many pistons. We're going to go with 2 to start with, then drums on the rear because I hate my life. Then aerodynamics, none, because what the hell? We'll go a little bit of brake airflow because I'm assuming that they would have thought of that at least a little bit. The cooling factor could be a bit lower because this is an old engine and they did prone to overheat. Okay, so for our seats, they would be a sporty, but they'd still be quite like a bench type seat. So we're gonna go with just a premium. No bolstering whatsoever on these old seats. Probably some sort of lap seatbelt as well. The radio is going to be probably a basic AM radio. We're not going to expect too much from that. We will have hydraulic power steering, I think it said? Yes, it does have power steering as an option. So, hydraulic power steering. Safety will be basic 60s because, yeah, they weren't too particularly good on safety back then, hence the supercar scare. Then we've probably got some sort of standard gas monotube, maybe, and passive. Then, this is a sports version, so we are going to go sport. No, normal. Normal's how high we're gonna make. Good, we're gonna make this. Now, I am so surprised that somehow we're not getting just complete oversteer. Our front and rear tires are exactly the same width, so this is already pretty tricky. What is our? Wow, that is spot on. That's exactly what we wanted. 267 kilometers an hour top speed, which is 165 miles an hour, which might be a little bit above what the car was doing because they were about to start reaching 160 miles an hour, which was what caused the supercar panic, really, with this car, which never actually got released. This was the Phase 4, where the one that we're creating is the Phase 3, which is the one that went down in Australian fame as an absolute monster of a vehicle. I can't imagine how powerful this thing truly was. So I think we're gonna go with this. The sportiness is up. The drivability isn't horrible. It's not great, but it's not horrible. Our brakes are bad. They are just bad. All right, we're gonna have to redirect a whole bunch of this to the rear. You know what? That's not horrible. It could be worse, but I think we can get away with that. And that does keep it nice and cheap. 286 millimeters. How does this work? What? All right, well, I think to do that, we're gonna have to increase to 15 inches, but that's now shortened our frick. We can't have 15s and god damn it. So yeah, we can't get the brake size we need because if we go 15s, we can't get the size we want. So maybe this was like a specialized tire in the day. I know that they didn't have radials though. Not at this point. I know that later there was a big advertisement about it actually having radials on it as an option. So yeah, we're gonna say that that's what it is. With our Fjord GTHO, I think now is time to switch over and look at making this thing look, well, I mean, I was gonna say pretty, but honestly, when I look at these cars, the only thing I can think of is the next generation was so gorgeous. I love this design so much, except for the fact that all around here was in black, and that, and this little bit here too, that was the car I had. Oh, if only it wasn't filled with rust. The game is broken. I can't do anything. Also, much like the original, I've left a little bit of a gap here, and I don't know why it's there, but it's there nonetheless. Maybe it was because of, like, manufacturing purposes. So they also seem to have this wing, but for some reason it's angled upwards? Those wheels! On the front at least, the rears. Ugh, yeah, don't look closely at that. And we're to turn this aerodynamics all the way down because we don't want it to accidentally, you know, handle well. Well, we start to get crazy amounts of oversteer at about 100 and probably 45-ish. So I think we are good. What do you guys reckon? Have I done a good job? Have I done a bad job? Have I done your mum? Very probably. Well, here's our GTHO Phase 3 knockoff. I mean, not knockoff, I mean, exact replica in every single... It's exactly the same car. Yeah, I might actually black these out because they don't quite look quite right underneath the sill there. The back end doesn't come out exactly how I'd wanted it, but it's pretty darn close for this game. I don't expect a whole lot from this game, honestly. I do like how the front end has turned out. If only like this line along here was a little bit more well-defined, I think that'd be perfect. But as it is, I think this thing is ready to go over to BeamNG and show us what this baby can do. But first we're gonna set this steering angle back to 0, so we don't want that mistake happening again. Ah, the Australian Outback. Isn't it just wonderful? I mean, I call this the Outback. This is kind of the middle of nowhere, which is Queensland, which is nowhere. Haha! Wait, what's that sound? Oh, that's right, it's my GTHO Phase 3! Oh, it's fantastic, isn't it? Oh yeah, let's just take a bit of a walk around, and we can get a proper look at our car. Just ignore the mouse cursor in the middle of the screen. Oh yeah, it's a beautiful car. I'm happy that I got my GTHO. My GTHO right here, yeah. Oh, okay, well, let's go see what this thing does driving around through this beautiful looking Queensland area place that I have no idea about. I just know that this is meant to be the Queensland area, and I trust them at that. So, what does it handle like? This is meant to be an automatic locker, not a normal manual locker, so I don't know how that's going to work exactly. Let's give it a bit of a try. We're going to give this a full spray and pray. Well, that sucked. Let's give this thing a proper boot to the floor. So, clutch in, rev up, drop clutch. Oh, that's twin. That's 11Zs. I hope that means whoa, that the stuff is working quite right. But oh my god, this thing is a little uncontrollable. Oh my god, it's so unruly. Oh goodness gracious. I don't think I've ever had a car quite like this before. I mean, you can control it, which is very close to what they used to actually look like back in the day, though I've never driven one. I've just seen old videos where, yes, they got sideways. And yes, they did have to slow down. They weren't particularly great around corners, but when they went to tracks like Bathurst, oh my goodness, they were just all over the shop. And then down the straights, nothing could keep up. It was just beyond what you would normally expect from any sort of car. I mean, you never saw Ferraris out there, so I mean, I suppose that's why it was just on top of the ranks. It was meant to be, I think, like regular family cars. Oh no! Oh, we've binned it like so many Ford GTHO owners. Well, let's give it a bit of a drive still, see how much further we can go until this car is completely wrecked. So far, I'm loving this. You know what? I think this deserves to be on a wheel. This is actually, like, even though it is an oversteery mess, it is so much fun. Oh, yes. Now this is how it should be done. Gearbox, first gear, clutch in, revved up, and away we go. Oh my god. This thing is full of power. Okay, so they wouldn't have had roundabouts back in the day, so we're just gonna blast right through this thing. We're meant to be going 20 kilometers an hour. But somehow, I kinda doubt that. Oh no! Oh my god! This is not the widest road right now, so it's not really what it wants to do! Oh no! I am too scared to stick on that locker differential. It's already really bad. Alright, well, let's try it now with a completely fixed car. Oh! Okay, never clutch jump, Bill. That is a bad idea. You don't want to do it. Let's hope to God that my audio is picking that up. I am very sorry. If it didn't pick it up, you're going to be listening to this now going, what is he talking about? Well, I accidentally may not have put my microphone on. So let's restart to a nice, big, wide open road. And let's race to the summit, shall we? And we're not going to jump the clutch. We are going to keep this thing as stable as possible. Oh no! Boom. Oh, okay. We have literally just died. No, we didn't. I don't know what you're talking about. Let's go. Give it a bit of a clutch jump. Get the power down. Get those wheels spinning. Hopefully, it'll be a little bit faster without losing control when we do that, which was pretty good just then. We didn't lose control. No! Oh. Oh. Oh, it's as if... Oh. It's as if we're back in the 70s and actually driving one of these things, which they were considered incredibly dangerous. And I'm gonna say it again, that's why there was the supercar panic. These things were so incredibly dangerous, and when they were gonna release the Tirana, which was part of the scare, when they were gonna release the Tirana, which I might do a car of one day at some point as well, they said that it was, sure, faster, but also handled a lot better. And then I think it was Peter Brock that drove the thing around, came out and said, no, that is literally just a lie. All right, maybe this thing deserves to be driven a little bit slower because it is an old man by now. This car is, oh, what was 1970 basically when it came out? So that would make this 50 years old. Would you drive a 50-year-old man really hard? No, you have to treat them nice. They do not like being driven like to the raggedy edge because they will kill you. Much like probably a 50-year-old man that you're trying to drive too hard is like, I'm tired of your shit. Fucking boomers. Okay, well, we're just gonna go straight through here. Oh, yes. Okay, so I've got it down pat. You don't drive it too hard because you've got straight lines for that. Ah, oh, damn it. And clutched up that first gear. Oh, okay. Maybe I'm not quite that brave to do that. I wonder how this thing does on dirt. I mean, it can't be a whole lot worse. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh no! Never give me a classic sports car. Clutch jump. Woo! Yes! Okay, I think I have basically given up any chances I'll ever have of driving a car like this, because if they know who I am before I get into it, which might be a thing, they would probably know of this one and then go, I think we're good. You don't need to drive this. You can just look at it. I wonder if this is easier to drive from behind because it is so... it'll be a little bit easier to probably see what the car is doing if I'm not in the actual driver's seat. Oh boy, okay. So, you know what? It's control. Oh, no! So pretty much every iteration of an engine that Ford got from America Ford, we basically tuned it up a little bit more. So we always have had more power pretty much than the Americans. So maybe we're a little bit more of a point and squirt drag car. Let's give it a try. And we're gonna switch over to realistic, and we're not gonna floor it, we're not gonna do a burnout right away, because yeah, we do not want this thing to become a complete nightmare. We're gonna do, what, a 12-13? You know what? Pretty good. Do we try this now with the diff locks on? Come on. Okay, so we got a nice even wheel spin. I don't know when really to change gears, so we're gonna wait until later in the gear shift. I mean, maybe you might want to do a little bit more of a clutch dump. 13.4, you know what? Not bad. I wonder what this car actually did back in the day. Quarter mile was 14.2, so actually, you know what? We're not far off. Since this is an old car, how about we see how it does around the old racetrack? So, we are going to switch to first person for this. I do not want to risk being in third person. That's a lot more burnout than what we got at the drag strip just then. Oh my god, what the hell is going on? Why is it so uncontrollable? Let's try that again, shall we? Let's switch over to realistic gearbox behavior. Oh, come on. Control a little bit better. And then slow down for the first chicane. Good, getting it around here. Oh, okay. Okay, we're gonna completely avoid... Well, bugger. My god, This is a nightmare of a car. This is not good at... I think actually I handled it better with a controller, so we might go back to that, because this is not doing particularly well. Oh, it wants to get sideways under brakes, and going this way, we're going to avoid the nightmare that is Adam's apex, and bring it around here. Just cut that dirt just a little bit, which is the sort of thing you would do back in the day. Oh! I might go back and change the handling characteristics. This is a little too oversteery. Screw it. Okay. We are putting on slightly narrower tires on the front. We just need this drivability. I don't care that they're meant to be even. We are not doing that. It can't be done. Okay. Let's try this again. Alright, let's get into first person. We've got realistic gearbox behavior. And hopefully this thing will understeer a little bit more to compensate for the crazy amounts of oversteer that we got. Good. So we're not getting... Oh, no! Not again! Okay, maybe that was just a simple little mistake. Maybe we won't have that issue again. No! Please! Why? You know what? Fine. Okay, we're gonna go full try-hard mode again. We're gonna go complete silence. I'm sorry, guys. There we go. We've done it in a 118. Good God, man. This thing is a nightmare. And I am pretty sure that this would be easier to control with a controller. So I'm going to do that right now. Though not many cars have actually beaten me. Yeah, it's beaten supercars from the pre-era. All right, let's try this with the controller now. We've got it set into the wrong gear. Let's switch that to automatic. Okay. You know what? I think, yes, this is already easier to control because I could do a lot quicker flicks of the steering wheel, which are required for this. I might go back and change this steering to be a little bit more fast in the controls of the steering wheel one day, and I think that'll help me control vehicles like this. You know what? I never noticed the rear bumper getting a jiggle on like this before, so that's new to me. No, come on! Don't be like that! Just put the power down, for God's sake! Oh my God, please! No! You kidding me? Alright, let's be a little bit more careful this time. And we're coming down now. This is a part which always tripped me up, so I had to go quite slow. Same dealio, we're gonna go fairly slow and not try to die there. Good, okay. Oh, wait, hold on. We're manually controlling it. I forgot about that. So, I lost a little bit of time there. I am not going to do this again. If I crash right now or something else happens, it's just shit out of luck. I'm never doing this track again. I hate it because it hates me. I mean, no, not this track. This car again. It's... Oh my God. This is the worst car I've ever tried to drive. But then again, they were all pretty bad to drive. Jesus. I think if I had to spend a little bit more time, that yes, I would have gotten the controller to be almost as fast as the steering wheel. My goodness gracious, man. This is so bad. Well, I hope you liked today's video, and I hope you subscribed, and I hope to see you in the next video. As for now, we're gonna head off. I also realized that I didn't reset the things. But yeah, bye!